How's it going, guys? Rufus Dominique here, and welcome to Need for Speed Payback. And today is going to be a bit of a different video. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to drift. Now, I know drifting in this game can be kind of debatable at best, but it depends what setup you're running to. So, without any further ado, let's get straight into how to drift, shall we? Now, the first thing I'm gonna uncover is this. If you press down on the D-pad, you can open this up. Now, in terms of my setups of what I do, drift angle is all the way to less, weight balance is all the way to the back, because you want the car to make sure its rear end slips out into the corner so you can drift. As well as I put my handbrake strength to stronger, which is on the right side, so it's far left, far right for the drift angle, weight, and the handbrake. Now, the other thing that I will now uncover, it depends if you have max parts, which I already have max parts for almost every single car because I'm just a sweat. What else can you say about it? But another thing I want you guys to do is press L3, which is down on the right, no, left thumbstick. If you press down, it opens this. Now, each brand has a different bonus. Like for example, Americana has a bonus for nitrous and air. Outlaw, speed and nitrous. Chidori, acceleration and brakes. Next Tech, speed and brakes, and Carbon is acceleration and air. So it really depends which brand you prefer running for the full part set. If you want, you can pretty much run almost anything, but the three that I might suggest is Outlaw, Chidori, or Next Tech. One of those three. It depends what you run, so yeah. Like for example, I have, if I can switch, hello? That was weird. Like for example, I have max parts for my RX-7, aka the best drift car in the game, which this is the best drift car in the game, or for the drift class to be exact. Another thing that I might suggest for you guys when you guys drift is go to settings, go towards driving, and turn on, if I can find it, manual transmission. Now just for reference, the shift up is triangle, shift down is circle. I know it sounds really terrifying at first, but when you get to know it, it's not as bad as you might think. Okay, so this is gonna be my first thing. I'm not gonna do the side bed, by the way, because this is more for demonstration purposes. So here's what you do. You shift up like this, and you want to stay in between third or fourth gear, right around there, because that's where you have some power and not too much, what's it called? Wheel spin. And as you can clearly see, I just easily slid into the corner with this setup of my RX-7. It also depends how sharp the corner is. So yeah, just one more thing if you drift. Do not get cocky, because if you do, you're just gonna mess up. Because there's times where you get overconfident and then you just flat out lose it. Another thing that I might suggest is not to hit a wall, which if you hit a wall, that's okay. You just have to get your combo back. But with this setup of the RX-7, you can just get easy points like this. Almost 1 million drift score in a matter of seconds. I think let's move now to a much harder drift track, just so I can show you guys even more of this. Okay, we're now at a much harder drift course, so here's what you do. You press nitrous, then you shift up all the way to fourth gear, and then you go into the corner like this. Now you can also use like guidelines, like for example, maybe even the signs, but I tend to go my own route for drifting, like for example what I'm doing now. You could use some of the guidelines on the road, like the signs right there, or even the white line on both sides of the road. Like, maybe like right here. I will say another thing. If you guys ask, do I use the handbrake or the brake? I tend to use both because you never know which corner does what. And even still, after playing this game for almost 4 years, something like that, I'm not really too sure, I still get it wrong, which there's nothing wrong about it, but as you can clearly see, it's a lot easier to do this in 4th gear. Now, I will say, would I suggest you guys doing this right off the bat? It takes a little bit getting used to, because if you're not used to shifting up, then it can be a bit of a hassle, to say the least. Okay, we gotta do this again, going back down. Here we go, we ease into the corner, we let off the gas. Unfortunately, I hit the wall. That's another problem too. Be careful around the corners that it's very, very tight, because there's some areas in this map that it's so confined and cramped, which I will say the first time I drifted, I was definitely pretty afraid of the tight areas. Heck, I still am. But that's why you have to take it nice and slow. Once again, we go into the corner like this, we use the handbrake, and then we drift in. I know that wasn't the best. I took the corner a little too quick. Once again, we go forward, then we shift down, then we ease into the drift like this. Right there I used the handbrake, now I'm using the normal brake. Like for example, right there, I use the signs as like a guide, like this. Should you hit them? It really depends what you want to do. Once again, here we go, going into the edge of the corner like this, and going straight back down to the finish. Another thing I forgot to mention, it depends what car you're using, because each car behaves differently in terms of their steering, their suspension, all of that, including the power. This course in particular is one of the ones that I have quite a bit of struggle on, but let me repeat this. Once again, you go wide like this, and then you go in. You see the white thing on the edge of the road? Those lines? I kinda use these as a guideline to drift. Now, if you hit a wall, that's okay. You just have to get it back. Once again, you drift in like this, and then you slowly exit. Now, should you be careful when you do this? Yes, because, you know, traffic can always be an issue. Like right here. Like, for example, right there, I just lost my score. Now, this corner, I'm definitely gonna have to use the handbrake. I know it wasn't the most cleanest of exits in the world, but it does something. Once again, we go wide like this. Then we go in. Once again, we go into the corner, then we shift down, then we brake, then we drift, and right there, we didn't even hit the wall. And once again, we use the line as a guideline right here. Something that I didn't knew until I watched a very recent thing. That was decently clean, but unfortunately I hit a wall. Okay. Okay guys, now let's move on to one of the annoying courses in this game. Specifically, the event is called Drift King. This is one of the most hardest events in my opinion, because if you don't have the skills, it's gonna be a very rough thing. Like here we go, once again, we go into the corner, we use the lines. Then we go out like this. Once again, we use the line again to go into a nice clean manner. Now, if you go off the line, that's okay. You can also go your own route if you really want to. Now running wide is a bit of a risky thing because if you hit the wall, you will actually lose your combo points, which is not what you want. If you lose it, then that's okay. You can always redo it and get better scores time to time. But like I said, it depends how fully tuned is your car. Now let me just repeat this. Should you use handbrake or the normal brake? I tend to use both. Not randomly. It depends what corner it really is. Like right now on this one, I'm using the brake, and now I'm using the handbrake and the normal brake to snap back. Like right there, I use both of them, use the handbrake and the brake at the same time. And once again, I did it again. Now this corner is sharp, so you have to take it very slow like this, so you do not hit the wall. Which I know that's easier said than done, but once you get used to it, it's actually not that bad. And once again on the smooth corners, I'm just using the handbrake, the normal brake, sorry. And once again, you just have to pinpoint the speed and the trajectory of how your thing is going. And just like that, almost 2 million drift score with my way that I drive. Now, let's say if you do not want to use the manual transmission, that's okay too. You can always do, like for example, right now I'm gonna switch back to automatic. Now, I will say doing automatic is a bit finicky because it seems like sometimes the shifts for the automatic is a bit wonky. Not like glitch or anything. There's some drift corners that the transmission kind of goes back and forth, and that's why sometimes I tend to run manual transmission. Like even now, I'm now getting so weirded out because I was so used in today's video of using manual. Should I suggest you guys running automatic transmission? That's completely up to you. I will say, using no, not manual, automatic transmission is a bit on the risky side because it seems like the AI, in terms of where they shift, it's a bit weird. Because there's some corners where the thing just goes back and forth, just like I said. I mean, you could run automatic, but I tend to run manual because I like to be in control of my shifts for drifting. So yeah, and once again, I'm trying to run wide, but not too wide. Like for example, I came dangerously close to hitting that. Once again, we use the white things here. You see this white line? I use it as a guideline. And once again, I use it again, use the handbrake and the brake. Well, I first used the normal brake and then I used the handbrake. Let's see if I can demonstrate on another corner. Oh yeah, this one right here. I press brake, and then I hit the handbrake, and then I drift out. No, not out, in, sorry. This one, you can just use the normal brake to drift, like that. Always use either the signs or the road white line, aka the one that I just showed you. But just in case if you guys didn't see it, I'll show you what white line to be exact. You see where my car is? On top of it, this is the white line that you have to use as a guideline. I don't know what this is actually called, but use this entire white line, not the one on the other side of the road, not this one right here. Use this one. Now just warn you, some of the corners do not have it, so you pretty much have to be on your own. But in some sharper corners, it has it. Once again, we hit the nitrous, then we just hit the brake and the handbrake at the same time. And just in case for another demonstration, I go once again, I gun it, hit the brake, then the handbrake. Okay, that was such a bad attempt. That's the problem, you have to get used to it, because drifting in this game, if you get to know it all the time, then it's easy, but if you're a newcomer, it's not gonna be fun. Once again, I press both the handbrake and the brake at the exact same time, and look what we just got. A perfect drift. Not gonna lie, guys, I'm starting to prefer manual transmission for drifting better than automatic. Now, would I suggest using this in like racing and stuff? Absolutely not. Only for drifting. Only for drifting. Alright guys, this is gonna be the final showcase of how to drift. And once again, let me repeat this. Stay in between 3rd or 4th gear, right around there. Now you could go faster, like for example right here is a perfect straight. But then you have to shift back down, which is square. No, not square, circle, sorry. Here we go, using the lines once again to use it as some kind of guideline. You see, some of these roads, they do not have the white lines, so you pretty much have to do it on your own like this. But sometimes like this, you can use it to your full advantage like this. This is the best way to drift. You can also drift your own route too, like what I'm doing right now. But if you see those white lines on the side of the road, then use them to your fullest advantage, because that's where you're gonna probably get the most score if you follow them. Now, would I suggest following every single one of them? Probably not, because sometimes they lead to a dead end and then you just hit a wall face first. Anyways guys, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video of how to drift, of this awesome drift guide that I recommend for you guys. If you do, make sure to smack that like button and that subscribe button. And as always, stay happy, stay fast, stay graceful. Bye.